Hello and welcome to Beyond Common Business Secrets. I'm your host, Tracy Watts-Serino, and I am so excited you are here. You are in for such a special treat today. My dear friend and fellow co-author, Mary Gervais, is here to share her beautiful serial entrepreneurial experience. Mary's a true innovator. She has helped thousands and thousands of women fulfill their dreams of starting, building, and growing their own companies. And one of the things I love about Mary is she's such a connector. She's one of those people that says, "Hey, I see you. Let me pull you in and share your brilliance with other people." So, Mary, I love that about you. And I am so grateful that I have this loving opportunity to gift back to you, sharing your brilliance with our audience here on Beyond Common Business Secrets. So welcome, my friend. I am so happy that you're here.
Oh, Tracy, it's such an honor, such a pleasure. I just love when we can get together and, share our energy and our love with the world. And yes, it's all about connecting. That's what it is in this world. We
Yeah,
got to share our community.
yeah, you have such a brilliant way of just knowing, oh, this person needs to know you and like connecting people. And I'm in awe of people like that. I've been blessed through my life to surround myself with many friends that are like that, but that is not my natural way. So I'm always in awe and very blessed that God and the universe provide amazing friends like that for me. My first experience with that was my dear friend Marcus, who I talk about all the time, because he was like the first one I really observed, like, wow, how do you do that? How do you do that? And so I'm just in awe of it. And I want to share your brilliance with the world because tell us, what is this amazing new project that you just completed recently?
Well, I am so excited. About 2 weeks ago, actually, 2 weeks ago tomorrow, was the launch of my first solo book because we have been in collaborative books together, Heart Blaze.
Congratulations. I
Thank
just love that.
you.
This book is so beautiful. I love the cover so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
It's so
And
beautiful.
it's Heart Blaze igniting the flame of unconditional love and in transformative wisdom.
I love that. So, Mary, for our audience, will you tell us like what is it that you do in your business?
Sure. Um, so I have been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. And I mean, I have done everything from my first business was I had my own bakery cafe when we lived in the Washington, D.C. area for 7 years. And I mean, that was so much fun. I left corporate America because I found my passion. I was like, I really want to do my own thing and be able to create more. And one of my passions is baking. And I used to bake with my grandma. And so just the fact that I could take that and enjoy it every day, and we did, New York style bagels from scratch, artisan breads, catering.
That's
I
awesome.
learned to become a women-owned business. And through this whole process, of learning where I was going, doing the business plan and connecting with entrepreneurs in my community, I realized, wow, this is fun. And I had women coming in and they would say to me, how did you do this? And I'm like, one step at a time. So I kind of started just helping women. And then I created a little women's circle, and it was real casual, but we would meet like every 2 months, and they would come in actually to the business, and we'd have coffee or tea, and we kind of just chat about where they were. And so I guess that has all built upon where I've been, because then my husband's job took us out of that area, and we moved to Florida, then Massachusetts, and I did consulting work. And when I started collaborating with two women in one of my stops, and one did social media and one did financials. And then my real love is strategy. I love doing business strategy. And then my husband's work ended up taking us to Rhode Island. And it was interesting because when we were moving, I was just about to start working on my MBA because I knew that I might possibly want to teach in a university, like a course here or there, and it
Yeah.
required an MBA. So I said to him, okay, part of this move is I'm going to work 1 year full time on my MBA and just knock it out.
Yeah.
So I did. And while I was there, I started doing what you say I love to do is connecting. And I did informational interviews in the community. So people I wanted to meet and people in the industry, I just would connect with one and I'd say, hey, do you know one or two people who I might meet? Because I'm new to the area. And
Yeah.
it just kept blossoming and blossoming. So funny, after I finished my school, I said to one of my friends, hey, I'm going to start looking for a position. And at that time, I was doing some online teaching for my university. And she said, Mary, the Women's Business Center for the state of Rhode Island needs a new director. And you'd be perfect. And I said, oh, so I applied. And little did I know you needed a master's degree. So that check box. And they also were looking for someone who spoke Spanish. And I had been a foreign exchange student in high school, so I spoke Spanish.
Which is the coolest
And
thing ever. I love that. It just makes you even more sexy than you already were. And I love that.
so that's kind of where I like really, Tracy. I mean, we know helping entrepreneurs start, build, and grow businesses was like such a fun, beautiful thing in that role. And I still work in that area, but in a little different way. So what I do now, then I left there, and actually one of my clients had come to me. She had been an editor with Better Homes and Garden, and she was starting an online company. And she asked me if I would do it with her. So that was an adventure. And we ended up getting, we went for angel investing and we got funding. And I mean, that was a great learning curve for me.
Uh-huh.
And from there, I was with that company until about the first year into COVID. Then I left. We had moved to Ohio, and I started back doing consulting work. And one of the things I always noticed was entrepreneurs would come in and we'd sit and talk about everything and where you are. And they'd say, but I'm just not sure. And I'm like, are you listening to your inner self, to your heart? I said, you know the answer. What feels good for you?
Yeah.
And that is where I focus on now. So, I mean, I know you can relate to this
Yeah.
because
Because you and
you,
I are so similar about
yes,
what we teach. And that's like, I know that's why if you could see like Mary and I, if you guys are tuning in just by audio, you can't see this, but if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that we're like hanging on every word. You guys, we just talk to each other all day. We get so like this is where I completely geek out, like talking about what stirs your inner spirit, your passion for purpose. Um, and I love your take on it, right? Like I love your take on how you activate the heart of your business.
yeah, because, I always say to people, like, we have these unique gifts. Every single person has a divine blueprint in them that we were born with. And you know what? That means for you that things flow easily. It's that passion. Like when I had my bakery cafe, I had two bakers, but I used to bake 1 day a week. But if someone called out sick, guess who got a phone call at 4 a.m.? And you know what? It didn't bother me because once I got in and got going, I was in the flow because you know what? I was doing my passion work.
Yeah.
So we have these unique gifts, and it's because this is what we're supposed to be doing in life. So
Yes.
I always say to people, especially entrepreneurs, but it can be for anyone, if it doesn't feel in flow and it doesn't feel like the right energy, sit back for a minute and see why. Because something isn't flowing correctly.
Yeah. I just wrote an email, like the email newsletter.
Yeah.
So anyone that is not on our email newsletter list, I strongly urge you, because this is so in sync with everything, that you sign up. So I just wrote the email that went out this morning about the number one secret to really like being the fountain of youth. And it was, I went to the Rolling Stones concert on Saturday night.
Oh
And
my gosh.
in the true testament to somebody that can stand on stage and absolutely command an audience and like receive the love of the crowd from a place of being in their prime is Mick Jagger. Like, he loves what he's doing. And that to me is the magic, right? His heart is so aligned with what he's doing. That's why he's over 80 and still like, hey, I'm like this. Like, just the way he walks with such swagger. It's like, oh yeah, he thinks still that he is the sexiest man alive. And it is adorable. So I'm like, if we can only and capture some of that energy, it's do what you love, right? Like, do what you love.
And you know what, Tracy, I couldn't agree more. And I have to come back to the Rolling Stones
Yeah.
because you live in the Cleveland area
Yeah.
and I'm in Cincinnati. So we had some friends who drove up to the concert. And I actually Googled this weekend. I said to my husband, how old is Mick Jagger? And I think he's 82 or 83.
Yeah,
And
he's
I was like, can you believe this man? I mean, but like you say, it's that energy, it's that passion. It just drives him because it's almost like an IV of new energy for him every time that he gets
like
out
the fountain,
there.
it's the fountain of youth. And I have to share this because this brings us back to perspective, right? So when I was in high school, okay, when I was in high school, I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame concert. It was like a 2-day event. I remember I was sitting in the second row, and I remember the Rolling Stones got on stage and I was thinking, these guys are old. They're so old. Ew. Like, this is my rate, because this is like more like what my parents like. So leading up to when my friend said, hey, we're taking you guys to the Rolling Stones, like, we just thought it would be really fun this weekend. We're like, okay. I started thinking, like, how is this possible? I am so, it's more than 20 years later, like, right? That I am like, how old could they be? Like, I almost pictured people in canes, like in rockers. And here I am sitting at the concert going, wow, it's so perspective, right? Because here I was 17 then. My perspective of young versus old is very limited, right? We think that anyone over 20 is old. 17. And now that so it's like when you add what you love, it like has almost made him turn back the hands of time,
Yeah, it's
because
ageless.
somewhere
Mhm.
in this time frame,
Yeah.
and I'm like not a huge Rolling Stones fan. I mean, yeah, I know all the songs, they're catchy. They're very simple, catchy songs, which is like when we keep it simple in business and you align with your heart, it all ties together. So I just was in awe of how this is literally such a hard truth that you and I have been talking about for years and years to business owners. When you do what you love, it makes the hard days okay. Well, it also gives you this infusion of youthfulness and agelessness. So it's like it's another lesson learned that we can learn from Mick Jagger and the Rolling
You
Stones.
know, and it's true, Tracy. And I want to hit on one thing you said there. It's like, what brings you joy?
Yes.
Because that joy is an essence, and we have it inside of our heart. And yes, life has its challenges, and we go up and down and up and down, and we all go through different times. But you know what? When you have that joy in what you're doing, no matter what, it keeps you at that level. The balance.
Yeah, I love that so much. Um, So Mary, can you share with us why you wanted to write this beautiful book, Heart Blaze Now?
Yeah, so I really one of my the core message is this. We talk about this, the importance of listening to our inner voice, because once we do that, we can unlock the possibilities for growth, for co-creation and innovation. And I'm going to put this another way. So we love ourselves. We have this divine love, and it's that unconditional love to ourselves. And once we know that we have this unconditional love, is when our wisdom comes in. And the wisdom, I say, comes from our intuition. It's just that knowing, because you have learned to trust yourself, because you have found that love inside of you. And once we have that and we have the wisdom, it's like this little ball and it keeps growing and growing. And then we can take this energy and put it out into the world. And that is when the possibilities for growth come in the innovation. And we get to collaborate with others. And imagine that we're collaborating with others and we're creating new things. And so I really wanted to share with people. First, I talk about the enlightenment of our body, mind, and spirit. So important. And we always talk about our and it's holistic wellness. We talk about our body being in state, in our mind and our clarity. But the other thing that I really feel that we needed to talk about was spiritual insight and spiritual care. So, what are we doing? And when I talk about spirit here, I'm talking about that energy, because, we're all from different religions. Some of us are atheists. It does not matter. But everyone, whether you term it God, universe, source, there is that energy that we all feel as human beings. So I wanted to talk about that. And, I'm very vulnerable in the book. I talk about things that have happened to me and how this energy has happened. And I just want people to go through and say, hey, yeah, we're going to start here. If we need to work a little bit on the inside love within, and then how do we tap into our intuition? And then how do we bring that out into the universe?
I love that. That is so beautiful. What would you say is like the number one takeaway that you want the female, the women entrepreneurs that you've been helping for all these years? What's the number one thing you want them to take away from reading Heart Blaze?
You are perfectly aligned where you are right now. Like, love every moment of where you are, because you're supposed to be there. And if you've got a challenge going on, it's probably because you're learning a lesson, which is great, because we all need to take that and then look at that inner wisdom and that intuition and use them as your essential guides through life.
Oh, I love that's so beautiful. We're going to have to highlight that. Use them as your essential guides to wisdom. That is so brilliant, Mary. Oh, I love that. I just got all the tingles.
Thank you.
Um, it One of the things I ask everyone that comes on Beyond Common Business Secrets is, what is one secret that you believe, because you are such an expert. So I'm really, really excited to hear what your secret is to how to be truly successful in business.
Like, I've said this some way in this when we've been talking,
Yeah.
but when you listen to your voice, the possibilities are endless, endless, endless. Because when you feel and listen, you open your heart to the expansion. And that is when you discover new networks, new relationships, and new opportunities.
Mary,
Yeah.
I love in the book how you have ways of helping people tap into this. So I strongly urge you to go out and get the book, because Mary walks you through some tangible ways to tap into this, that I think that our listeners will find very, very useful and very exciting. Do you have, like, how can people get in touch with you, stay in touch with you? Because, yeah, everyone
Uh,
that listens to this is going to need more Mary in their life.
I love you, friend. So you can go to maryhelengervais.com, and I have the book is available there. There's a free meditation. It's called the joy visualization in a body scan. And one of the reasons I put that there is I want people to go back. And if you just need a pickup someday, it's great to do a whole body scan and just level up for the day. And they can get me there. I am on LinkedIn, I am on Facebook, and I am on Instagram.
I love that. So what are you working on now? Because I know you and you are a serial entrepreneur. So can you give us the behind the scenes secret to what you're working on now?
I just finished my meditation series, which is on my website, but I am working on a program that is going to be rolled out in corporations and universities. And it's a lot about listening to our inner guidance and then how we can innovate and co-create. So that'll be out probably in, I don't know, 4 to 8 weeks. And the other thing that I'm doing is I am partnering. So I'm all about collaboration, and I am doing book signings, but I am currently working with a local partner here, my friend Jules, and she comes in and does a somatic heart session. And we are looking to partner with individuals who any kind of business. It can be a salon, it can be a yoga studio, any place that would like to do a event with us. And I will come in and talk about, inner innovation, intuition, all of this guiding your business or your life. Jules will do the heart, and then whatever their business is, we will showcase whatever their message is and how it relates to us. So I'm super excited for that.
That sounds amazing. That sounds so amazing. So currently you guys are doing those throughout Cincinnati.
We're doing them through Cincinnati, but we really want to do them
We're gonna
start
have to figure out a
working.
way to get you guys to Cleveland,
Yeah,
because we'd love to
come
be.
up to
Yeah,
Cleveland. We
that'd
would
be
love to
fun.
do Columbus. And then
Yeah, we'll have to
we would
definitely.
love to
Yeah.
do like a US tour of it. I
Yeah.
just think that that would be so much fun because I love to connect.
Well,
And
we have listeners all over the globe. So do you hear
I
that?
would I
We
would get
even
on an
have
airplane
people yeah,
easily.
we even have people in Australia that are loyal listeners. So
Uh,
hey, you could
hey,
be going everywhere, Mary. I love this.
I am open. I mean, we would love to do this because for me, it's just so important. Um, I want to read you just the back cover of the book, if I may, because
Absolutely.
this is what I want to share with the world. And
Yeah.
it
Please share.
says, "It is your time, it is your path." Heartways invites you on a profound journey of self-discovery and inner transformation. The narrative engages your senses and immerses you in a world where mind, body, and spirit unite harmoniously in the soothing warmth of love. Inside these pages, find a roadmap to a new way of living filled with innovation, collaboration, co creation, and wisdom that helps you find and achieve your inner serenity. Embrace change gracefully and find joy in mastering balance, seizing every authentic opportunity. That's half of the back, but you get an idea.
I love it. I got all the tingles. I love, love, love it. I am so excited for your beautiful book to just fly all over the world and help so many people. I'm sure everybody else felt the tingles, right? Like it's just such amazing work that you're doing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited. Congratulations to the world that they are getting to experience some of Mary's brilliance. And yeah, I'm just so excited for you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I will, one last thing, Tracy,
Ah,
say
absolutely.
the the book is not to be read in one sitting. It has channeled writings in it, channeled poems, and they need to integrate into your energy.
Mhm.
So it'll take you at least a week. And some people, if you want to wait longer between the sections, that is perfectly fine. You will know, you will feel what to do with it.
Absolutely. Well, Mary, I just want to thank you so much for being here. We will share all of the ways to get in touch with Mary in the show notes. And as always, I hope that you are having the most beyond amazing day. Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you, Tracy, and thank you, everyone.